back to Marathon Mortgage Happy Hour. I'm Mike Witek,
I'm Rory Farrell.
and this is, mortgage stuff. So yeah, here we go.
This is the Marathon Mortgage Happy Hour.
That's exactly what this is.
Is that what you meant to say? All right, as usual, we will start with the brew. It is January. It's dry January for me. Mike kind of,
I kind of fell off the wagon.
what are you going to do?
You know, it's all good.
Just don't have the willpower that I do.
I don't.
But we're doing Brewdog's Elvis AF.
Yeah. Yeah, I picked this one out. I mean, you bought them, but I picked it out. So
As I do every week, I buy
Yes,
the beer. You
yes.
just consume. Hoppy Grapefruit IPA, non-alcoholic. I believe this is gluten reduced, too, if I...
is there a word find on the back there? I see.
Columbus.
Oh no, it looks like a word find.
Yeah. But anyway, long story short here. I believe it's gluten-free. It is alcohol-free, less than 0.5%. Technically,
Awesome.
non-alcoholic. And Brewdog's good. I mean, they obviously do regular real beers too, and they're from Scotland. They got a pretty cool little beer series. I forget what platform it's
Did you ever see
True TV or something weird like that. But
You ever see The Wolf of Wall Street?
of course,
Okay. So you know the scene when he's like he's drinking non-alcoholic beer and he shows up to his house and he's like, what are you drinking? He's like, it's non-alcoholic beer. And the guy's like, oh, cool. So does it like get you drunk? And the guy's like, no, it's non-alcoholic. And he's like, so what's the point? He's like,
I do. Well, back then for sure. I mean,
Oh,
beer,
yeah.
it just tasted like garbage. Like, what's the point? But now, I mean, what I've found over the past couple of years of doing dry January is that there's really good craft non-alcoholic beers. So
this one smells really good.
yeah, Brewdog's definitely one of the better breweries in the world. Like they, millions of medals and it's super grapefruity.
There we go. Ready?
This brings me back to high school of having grapefruits for breakfast.
Yeah, it brings me back to high school when I was drinking grapefruit Four Locos.
Gross. This is actually pretty good.
It's not bad.
It's very grapefruit forward.
Yeah.
So that kind of probably masks a lot of the non-alcoholic flavor that you usually get from a beer that's non-alcoholic. You're gonna have a lot of like weediness and not as much bitterness. It tends to be sweeter. But yeah, this grapefruit's it's pretty good.
Yeah.
If you like grapefruit.
Yeah. No, I like it. I think this is second. So first week was my least favorite non-alcoholic beer.
Okay. Yeah, that was Collective Arts, if I'm remembering.
The second week, my favorite by far.
Yeah, that
week.
was best day.
Yeah, best day.
Brewing.
That was
were
really
pretty good. Yeah, I think we had the
Brewdog.
hazy IPA.
Brewdog's number 2.
Okay, cool. Yeah, the best day one. We have a hazy, a Kolsch, and a West Coast.
Yeah. So
All right, cool.
solid. Very
Yeah,
cool.
there's some good ones out there for sure.
All right. So I guess topic-wise, I wanted to discuss was when we're running credit as a mortgage company.
As any mortgage company,
As any-
not just us.
Yeah. Everybody runs credit to get a mortgage. Yeah, you have to. It's one of the necessary evils of doing this. So when that happens, credit companies. So we run through typically the most common, I think, are Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Our top 3 companies most mortgage brokers use, or mortgage bankers, whoever, and they will end up selling your information to marketers, basically, that will call you and try and solicit your business, and they will call you a lot. So go ahead.
They don't exactly sell your information, just the fact that you had a tri-merged mortgage
Yeah.
credit report. So what happens is in our industry, we have to use a tri-merged mortgage credit report. So it's different than an auto credit report, or if you're going to apply for a credit card or whatever. So when that happens, it triggers the bureaus, or it triggers the bureaus to basically send the fact that you did have a tri-merged credit report to all these companies who buy that information. So
Yeah.
credit scores aren't on there, trade lines aren't on there, none of the specific information, but these companies know that, hey, you're shopping.
Yeah, for sure. So, they're not selling your blood type. They're just kind of selling that you ran that. And then that just blows your phone up. So there's a couple different ways that we...
To the tune of like sometimes 100 calls a day.
Yeah, which is not fun for anybody. So we just, first off, the first thing we do is kind of let you know that that is a possibility and that can happen. And we would never want to sell your information, because why would we want to sell your information to our competitors? It makes no sense whatsoever. People think we do it. We don't. If we could get extra money for it, I'm sure we still wouldn't even do it then. But it's like we can't sell your information. It's just illegal. So unfortunately, it's not us. So That's number one. We let you know what's going on with it. Number two,
What to expect.
we will remove your phone number from the application. We'll remove your email from the application. So this way, at least if it gets run through and that information gets pulled over, it's not there, so they can't pull that over. So it might stop some. It might prevent some calls.
These mortgage companies are, I mean, they'll find a way, but it's one extra step for them to have to figure out
Exactly.
this information.
And the other thing is too, there's also an opt-out policy. If you Google like an opt-out on the phone call list, I don't know.
Well, there's
Like
two
do not
two
to
things.
call
There's
list
an
or something.
opt-out preference, kind of like when you're opting out of or unsubscribing from an email.
Yeah.
Which we have, the link to. We can send, and we tend to send the link to our clients. And then there's also the National Do Not Call Registry, which I would encourage everyone to be on, because that doesn't just stop mortgage stuff. It stops, just any solicitation, any spam. And again, it's not a perfect science. Doesn't stop 100% of it.
Yep.
But it definitely helps.
Yeah,
So.
for sure. So I think that's just something that's been coming up more and more in conversation. Something we've really started to preface every application that comes through with, just to let them know what's going on with it. But other than that, I think that's really the main thing I wanted to just kind of touch on.
Yeah, and I was trying to do a little research on this prior, and I can't remember where I heard this, but I'm pretty sure that there's some legislation being passed through that this is not going to be allowed, or at least reduced. It doesn't sound like it's gone through yet, obviously, because we're running credit and it's still happening as of today and yesterday. But I think that they're trying to make positive steps in that direction to reduce that, because it's predatory is really what it is. So.
Faux show you right on. So
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
This isn't bad.
It's all right. It's all right. Prefer alcohol, but that's all
You had
good.
a taste of the real stuff this weekend.
Yeah, for real. Well, not even beer. Well, I did have beer actually. Yeah, I had some beer this weekend. I had a little Stella, a couple Stellas.
Okay, I mean, I guess that
You
counts.
know, yeah. Don't
beer.
start me with your little IPAs and shit. But I had a few Stellas, and then I think my main contributor was rum. So
Rum.
I probably drank. Not proud of this, but like a fifth of rum while I was there.
Unless you're in college or on an island somewhere,
Yeah,
you shouldn't be drinking rum.
nice. And skiing, Fireball too. Fireball. Doing a lot of
Add that to
Fireball.
the category of something you shouldn't be putting in your body.
Yeah. So anyway, that's not my win for the week. You have any wins for the week?
My win, I'm still doing dry January. I haven't failed.
That's a good win. I think my win is going to be the sick mustache I'm growing out here.
It's sick, dude.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Tune in weekly for the progress.
Yeah, we'll keep it. I'll keep it going, and I'll see if it gets any darker.
That looks like a mustache I could grow.
Yeah, for sure.
My win for the week, I guess a professional one. Had one of my realtors get a house under contract for their clients. That wasn't one of my clients, but she said, hey, you should really shop around, especially in this rate environment. Things are changing rapidly. Make sure that you are doing your due diligence.
Yeah.
So sent me over. These particular clients were shopping, I guess, the other lender with me and 2 or 3 other lenders. And it feels so good to be able to, number one, we won the business. Number two, to be able to walk them through the other quotes and say, hey, make sure you're looking at this, make sure you're looking at this. Because, I mean, there was quotes out there where, the bottom line was $9,000 short. What do you like?
Yeah. No, something just popped in my head. Don't worry about it.
$9,000 short of what they're actually going to need at settlement. And it had nothing to do with the mortgage related costs. It's like, hey, why are they not showing you escrows? Why are they not showing you this? And they're like, oh, I didn't think about that. So it's like just doing the right thing, showing them why you're the right company to go with, not just saying, hey, our rate's better.
Yeah.
Like, hey, walking them through the steps of, why they're going to be sorely, mistaken when 3
When
to
you
4
get to
settlement,
close.
they get a closing disclosure that says 7,000 more than they were expecting. And then, there's always ways to make rates look better. And they bury, on the very bottom of the page, 5 3/4. It's because there's $9,000 in costs.
Not related to our industry, but like in sales in particular. My dad just bought a camper recently, and he was originally buying it with a company that did that to him.
Yeah.
And he got they were like, yeah, sign these papers. And he's like, where's all this stuff coming from? And he straight up he's like, I'm canceled the deal, left there, went somewhere else. Somebody saved him $1,000 and actually got it to him. And now he has his pool behind. But it's like in any service industry or any sales industry, dude, just be upfront with people. Just tell them what's going on. It's insane.
I know. Well, hopefully those types of lenders and salespeople get weeded out. But I mean, it's so easy to manipulate bottom line numbers by adding points, but then reducing the amount of escrows that they're actually going to collect to make the bottom line look way better.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyway, so long story short is won that deal. They felt like they were educated, and I spent time with them, and
Yeah.
feels good. So
Pretty awesome. My win would be last night I was on the phone with a couple. Well, I was on the phone with the husband for a little over an hour, just like, helping him out with everything that goes through on this entire process. And he was kind of like shopping around. He was looking at his best options and whatnot. But I think after our conversation, talking him through everything, helping him understand all of what goes into this and how I'm going to be able to help him, like 10 minutes after our phone call, he shot me a text. He's like, lock it in, dude. I want to work with you guys. So that was like a huge win. And they're a young couple. They're like a little bit older than I am, maybe a couple, 3-4 years older. And I'm just like stoked to be helping them out. So
yeah, I mean, I always tell people when they're shopping, like, hey, there's the tangibles, the rate and the fees and all that, and then there's also the intangibles. Like, and I always feel like a really strong intangible is we take the time to educate people so that they can feel like they're making the right decision, not being conned. Because anytime someone's feeling like they're being sold or conned, or it's not, I mean, the rest of the process is not good.
Yeah.
So if they feel like, hey, I learned, Rory spent the time, I understand all this stuff now way more than I ever did, and I feel confident in making this decision and moving forward with you, you'll have a client for life.
For sure.
So
very nice.
All right.
Quote of the day.
Oh, here we go.
I have 2 quotes. I need you to pick 1 or 2. Pick a number 1 or 2.
2.
2? All right, perfect. But it's kind of the one I wanted to say. Keep your money in a sock and your head on a swivel. There you go. That's a legitimate quote.
Where'd that come from?
Couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you.
You don't know where it comes from or what it means?
Nah. Means keep your money in a sock and your head on a swivel.
All right. Well, for the record, don't keep your money in a sock because you can't use it to buy a house.
Put it in the bank so
Put it in
it's
the bank.
Funded
For at least
season
two months to season.
Yeah.
Um,
The other quote was "Memento mori," which is just remember death. But didn't want to get
that's kind of a bummer. All right. Well,
yeah. Live your
on
life.
that fun note,
Go out there, live your life.
go out
have
there,
fun.
buy a house, build equity.
Oh, yes.
Use us to finance it.
Yes.
All right. Happy Friday. Enjoy this beautiful snowy weather.
Yeah. Be safe out there, kids.
Be safe, and we'll see you next Friday.
All right. Cheers, brother. Bye.